Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Anyway Moving Forward. And right now, we still have Champ here.
Hey, it's me again.
Our constant guest in this episode in our podcast.
Woo!
And we've decided to talk about how is it really how do you really let go? Parang ganon, yeah. Okay, over the weekend, we have had a lot of exercises. Exercises. Kasi we did have our parang sort of, paano ba yan? Parang going back to self-retreat. Kasi nga, we've been doing the retreat for parang
A year and a half.
a year and a half immersion. And then we facilitated after that. So today we've decided to talk about how do you really let go? Kasi yun naman talaga ang activity. So we're gonna start with asking Champ that question. How do we start this conversation?
How do we start conversation? I guess lahat naman siguro tayo, we've had a point in our lives na we'd had to let go of someone or something. And I guess the more important that thing is, the harder it is to let go. I guess we could start with acknowledging that letting go is actually a state of mind. It's something that you decide on. But for many people, it can be a little bit challenging to decide on that because of maybe certain blockages that they have not yet acknowledged in that process. Here in the safe space, we have a few practices that help you, besides doing the letting go mentally, it's also a process you do physically that guides you through the process.
Yeah. Tapos ano talaga siya, parang encompassing na package talaga siya, not just letting go. We also add in physical exercises wherein it includes like very...
Yes.
You don't even have to, the retreat, yes, you spend. Pero here, parang in a normal basis, we do breathwork, we do sharing, and we do the acknowledgement part din ng letting go, which is very important. Kaya unless you realize parang what is blocking you, what's stopping you from getting on the other side, you won't really be able to let go, no? And to see what's actually, ano ba talagang dapat kong i-let go?
Yeah. So in the way we do it is first we identify what is it that you want to let go. And most often it's the first thing that pops up into your head.
Yeah.
And sometimes a lot of people don't even know that these are things that they should let go.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why when you say I want to let go of something, the first thing pops up in your head, and then that's what you need to put your attention into.
Yeah, and it just didn't come up for nothing. It's there parang, parang matagal na natin to naiisip, hindi mo lang siya nagawa ng way. And yun yung ginawa namin, the spaces and places that you put yourself into, the people who facilitate your space, kasi there are a lot of facilitators naman. Even, di ba, churches, organizations, all those other things, you have to be careful on where you put yourself to, kasi nga, we here in our community niya, cute community, we then have to parang really sit down with ourselves na parang, ano ba yung mga bagay na i-let go natin? And we did have a couple of exercises for us na mag-lead kami into that. Oo nga pala no, yun pala. And when we were able to acknowledge it na ito, and we were really honest about it, because unless you're honest about what's that thing that is holding you back, and even saying it, nahihirapan pa ang most people.
Yes.
Pero tayo parang, yes, ito yung nahirapan ako.
Actually.
Diba? And then, when you start acknowledging na, ito pala yun, I doubt myself, ganito, ganyan, I'm not really good enough, I feel this one, doon na namin ni-release na, okay, these are what we're gonna do next, and then from then, yun, brand new energy na siya kasi na-cleanse na namin in some sort of ways that we do, especially in breath. That's what we did last night.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. And about honesty, kasi here's what I've noticed, at least for myself and some people that I know, is that we quickly jump into being positive, if that makes sense. Like when you know you're feeling this feeling, you know you're feeling, example, resentment, but you're like, no, I want to be positive. Which is great. It's hindi yan. It's not. I don't think it's being positive. I think it's being in denial. Really, what you're doing is you're just shoving down that feeling deep inside of you until eventually you forget it, but you don't really forget. You don't forget the feeling.
Yeah.
It's there.
Marami masyadong in denial na, wait lang, nasaktan ako, pero okay lang yan.
Yeah.
Parang ikaw, ay hindi,
Kami
okay.
ginagaslight sarili mo, ganun.
And then it's really parang in a space that we also, dito ko din na-learn na, okay lang naman na magalit ka, okay lang naman. It doesn't make the other person a lesser person. It's just an emotion that you are honoring as the moment na parang galit ako sa nangyari. Galit ako, I feel angry about this one. And once you become really honest with yourself na yun pala yung emotion na na-feel ko, you then get to release it. Or, di ba, parang this isn't really helping me na I'm really angry about that. And once you come to parang your senses na galit talaga ako, dun mo na siya ma-start
Yes.
ng let go.
That's when you
Yeah, I
start
love
processing
that.
it. Yeah. And that's what happened to me then. Nung na-let go din ako sa work. After I got let go, I said the prayer, I got let go, and then there was this sort of resentment in me towards that person. Kasi I knew for myself that I was super invested in the vision, in what I did, in the work that I did. And then ganun lang. Just in one snap, I was let out. Just because
You're honest.
parang, yeah, just because I was honest, just because parang I was just true with what I was going through, what I was doing, and all that sort. And I carried this resentment, and for a good while, maybe a week or two, I just shoved it down.
Pero okay lang yan.
Yeah.
ganun.
But then I was like, kasi fina-follow ko rin yung, yung employer ko sa Instagram. Every time I came across his posts, is parang sumisikip yung dibdib ko.
Yeah,
It's like
kasi
anger,
parang counter,
ganun, oo.
parang you're teaching about that, pero hindi naman yung ginagawa mo. Parang ganun.
Yeah,
oo.
like you know what's going on deep inside, but in reality, they're showing a different thing. Nadala ko yun, and then for a good while din, parang I was reflecting on it. Did I really let go of this person already?
Kasi na-hold
Oo.
on mo. oo.
Wait lang, I'm feeling resentment, I'm feeling anger. Parang, okay, it's still there.
Oo.
Hindi ko pa talaga siya na let go.
Yeah.
So the question is, how do you really let go?
Yeah. Kasi what you're doing there is like you're carrying a bag, parang bag mo ba na, may galit sa baba. Kina-carry mo yung bag na yun thinking na, okay lang yan, hindi. So parang once you start letting go, doon na siya
Yes.
mag-go. So anyway, so we're gonna talk about how do you really let go? And let's start with that, honesty, no? You have to be really honest what's coming up for you, what emotions are coming up for you, ano yung nafe-feel mo, and instead of you repressing it, allow yourself to express it. Kaya, again, emotions are energy in motion. It's not you, it's a feeling. It's not I am angry, it's I am feeling angry. Kaya, if you parang embody angriness, maging, if you feel like, you say, I feel angry, and then it's not you that, parang bisita lang, that's when
It
you
passes.
honor it, na parang, if you feel like crying, if you feel like shouting, you let the emotion out of your body kasi energy in motion nga siya. It's moving, the energy is moving. And unless you allow yourself to express, you'll keep on repressing it until parang one day.
Sobrang bigat na ng baggage mo.
Tas, yun na yung mag
That's when you explode,
monster
guys.
ka na. Yeah, yeah, it's a very simple thing to do, pero we have a lot of ways for, di ba, easy for us to say. And also us, we also have a lot of tools, a lot of ways na ginagawa namin personally, or maybe wherein you just ground, I'll just ask Champ, what are your ways of doing that na parang, okay, now that the feeling is there, kasi we're talking about feelings here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not about the person. It's actually the feeling na nagawa in between that parang friction in between. It's not about the person. It's about the feeling na that came up. So what do you do with that?
Yeah, for me naman, I noticed the most effective way for me to let go or to release certain feelings is through talking. But I also understand na me as a Christian, I am very careful with the words that I say, with the people that I choose to talk to in terms of certain with opening up, because you may never know, you might spill out something really dirty about the person, tapos instead of uplifting yourself and the person, na drag down mo na. And that's something that I'm really careful about. So what I normally do is I cry in prayer. Doon ko nilalabas yung wisit ko. That's when I say everything that I want to say, because God wants you to rest on His shoulders.
That's true.
And you can't really rest if you're very filtered, if you're very protected. You choose the words that you say. So instead of choosing talking bad about that person to other people, I just talk directly to God. Lord, ba't na to siya ganito? I am really hurt. So annoying, parang blah 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 blah. Ganon. And then for some reason after I do that, after that prayer session, or I call it J time, Jesus time,
J-time.
yeah,
J-time,
Gen Z.
guys.
After that's when I start feeling better.
Hmm.
Yun na yun, na-release ko na pala talaga. Okay. Tapos I just do this to check in. Like, meron pa ba? Instagram, kung may kurot, okay, wala na. Move forward.
I love that, yeah. And it's really the acknowledgement of the feelings that is coming up. It's not an attack to another person. It's really checking within, like, how are you feeling towards this experience? And then what he said, once you acknowledge na galit, you're also the social responsibility, which I'm also guilty of. Wait lang, sobra na ang pagiging sharer, overshare. You just have to find a space for you to express yourself, and bonus na lang talaga if there are people
Yeah.
na non-judgmental, na parang hindi nila i-take in themselves,
Yeah.
carry nila ang judgment. If there's no place for you, like what he said, you can pray. Say a prayer to God, or you can say a prayer to the universe, or whoever you feel like, and stay connected with that, na parang, nakakainis, as long as you're allowing yourself to let
Yes.
out. And that's also art. Like, I
It
know a lot
is.
of artists, a lot of mga when they're really angry, they start drawing. And the more that you're
Yeah.
emotional, that the emotions come in, mas maganda yung
Yes.
na-release mo, because it's emotions, it's energy
Yeah.
that put into art, parang ganun.
Yeah, and there's a science in this, diba? What we do, it's called somatic release. Somatic release, what is it?
Laliman ko muna kakinig siya. It's a way for us to let it out of the body through our physical senses. Hindi ko siya masyado ma-define, pero in the activity that we do, we let out the energy through the senses,
Yeah.
through physical, para yun na yung expression of self. Kaya, unless you do that, you'll keep on carrying it inside rather than putting it outside.
Yeah.
And the best way to express it is through safety. Safety
Yeah.
first. Like, parang, when you're angry, get a pillow. I teach this
Yes,
to my
yeah.
kids. And then I punch it. Tapos yun. And then, after that, pag nasigaw mo na, you'll find the relief, and then eventually check in on yourself. Kumusta ka? Okay na. Pag makita mo
Yeah.
siya, okay na, edi nawala. Parang ganun lang siya. It's as easy as that. Yung parang ganun. Now,
Yeah.
we are not educated. We were not taught. And that's why we bring this into awareness na kaya naman, na meron namang tools for that.
And I guess the really beautiful thing about somatic release is sometimes as human beings, we parang hindi makaya ng imagination natin to release. When you say release, what's release? Paano release? Like, you can't imagine it really. But in somatic release kasi, you're being taught how energy works and how it moves out of the body.
Yeah.
And basically, energy is emotions. Tama ba?
Emotions are energy.
Emotions are energy in motion. You have to move it. And that's basically the concept of somatic release.
Yeah.
It brings your imagination to life.
That's true. Tapos, parang using the senses ba?
Yeah.
Hindi lang siya here. You use your voice, you use your movement, you use, kung gusto mo mag-iyak, it's all there. And I guess that's the beauty of life. For you to be able to experience life, the beauty of it is to use everything that God gave us, the universe gave us, our senses, na nandyan naman, you don't need to carry it on your own. You just have to let it go in a way na you don't need audience pagani to do that. You just need
Yeah.
to have yourself na parang tarat. And then, what we do, we shout. Like, yun lang. I'm really blessed to have people like Champ and Franz and Tiff and Rams to do it with me, wherein we really give, kahapon, we give our space na parang, okay, if you wanna let it out, we'll be here to hold you. And then we'll just shout it out, na parang we put the
Yeah.
emotions, the energy out, and then may relief na siya after. And then we pack it up with breathwork, which we do. And yun naman, iba na naman
Another
yun sa
topic.
na-release.
Yeah.
Ibang release
yun.
Pero it's really the energy that we move around out of our body for us to create something new, parang ganun. And after nung activity last night, I really felt the difference and the shift ba agad, na parang
Yeah.
it can be as easy as that, na parang okay. And then consistency, the choices that you choose, you have to be very consistent about choosing. Okay, di ba nag-choose, I'll choose this time. And then the consistency of following through what you said that you would. Di ba?
Yeah.
Yes, Chop.
That is true. How do I follow up?
What else do you want to share about people? What else are the other way for you to release those energy, those judgment, those anything that they're carrying at this moment?
Oh yeah, by the way, somatic release, it's not just about the movement, it's about intention. Where do you focus? Syempre, you could consider practically anything as somatic release. You could just go on a run. work out, hike, stay in nature,
Correct,
sit
correct.
down. Anything you do, it's all about the intention that you put into it. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I am letting go of the hurt that I'm feeling from this person.
Yes, direction. Direction na you just don't do things out of, I just wanna do this. Kasi wala siyang papuntahan. Pero if you put intention in any way, kasi that's how I personally do it. I live a very intentional life. We did this because it has an intention. We're here in this space because we have an intention. Because if you don't have an intention, parang ka lang tapon ng spaghettis on
Actually,
the wall. So,
walang target.
yes,
Ganun.
so for intention setting, you have to also make sure how do you want the outcome to be. Like what, it's different from goal kasi goal is parang very physical, pero
Yeah.
intention is what's there. Oh, I want clarity. Oh, I want harmony. I want growth. Ganun siya. Yeah, I guess like the reason why I also chose to let go of things personally is the intention of I want growth.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to settle anymore for just that. I know that
Yeah.
if I stay there, I will start resenting, and that is not the kind of energy that I want to carry, diba?
Yes, and choosing to not let go, by the way, will be a huge roadblock for you in terms of your growth, in terms of where you want to go.
Correct.
Because holding on to these, I would say, trauma, it's a certain trauma na rin eh. Na when you experience a similar experience in your process of growth, you will start backing out na because hindi mo na let go yung experience mo in the
trauma.
past.
Parang trauma na hindi na nga siya okay, tapos hindi mo pa siya, pwede trauma na sugatan.
Yeah.
Tapos hindi mo pa siya sinettle, you put it aside. So, even if you move forward, tapos you haven't actually, hindi ko pa pala na-fix yun. You're just still coming
Bit mo.
back to that trauma,
Yes.
which you haven't dealt with. Because you think na, okay lang yan. Pero yung pala, nagpalaki ng palaki ang
Yeah.
sugat.
Yeah,
And
that
that's
is
the
true.
thing about trauma. Like, if you don't deal with it, na, teka, parang, okay lang, I'll run away. And there are a lot of people who run away from
Yes.
that. Do you wanna say something about that?
No, kasi the certain traumas that you don't let go of, you will always go back to it at some point.
Yes, for sure. For sure. I work with the subconscious mind naman. The subconscious mind never forgets. They just put it on the backpack. It's because yung trauma na yun, fully closed, nag-move on ka na.
Yeah.
That's what we are parang advocating as well, that you go back to that experience, you sit with it, you learn how to deal with it, and you learn to release it
Yeah.
through expressing yourself na it was really painful.
Yeah.
Acknowledging whatever it needs to be acknowledged and be really honest, because unless you're honest about that, okay na yun, hindi na. Hindi ako
Yeah.
nasaktan, okay lang.
Yeah, example, you had a toxic ex, tapos for some reason, your next ex is very similar to the last ex,
yes.
and then it just becomes a cycle and a cycle. The Lord just brings you back to that place because you're meant to learn a lesson from that
Yeah.
that you're not learning from.
Yeah, because it feels familiar. You haven't
Yeah.
closed the book yet. So parang, I'll just go back to that. Akala mo naka-run away. No, you haven't, because you haven't learned the lesson yet from that trauma.
Yeah.
So you deal with the trauma, the sugat, so that once it's done, okay na. Next time, ayoko na masugat ulit ng ganun. And then you decide na, na-learn ko na yan. Unless you learn kasi to deal with it, you'll continuously live that life. It's a pattern na unconsciously you're carrying up until you realize, wait lang, may mga ganito ka ba na, nga pala no, ba't paulit-ulit? Kasi hindi ko pa siya na-deal. Or maybe I'm too kind. Or maybe I'm too nice. Or maybe parang not facing the reality of what was actually happening. Parang ganun.
Yes, that is true. That is true. It's letting go is not something you should take lightly, honestly.
Totoo.
It can make or break your life. Eh. If you don't let go of certain angers, you bring it and you also project that towards other people, you hurt the people around you, you don't perform well in your career. Yeah, you tend to limit yourself na because of the certain traumas that you carry.
True, hanggang dyan ka lang sa capacity na yan because you haven't done.
Yeah, you haven't learned from it.
Yeah. Which brings me to my personal experience because I had a lot of resentment with my dad, which normally naman yan. In their generation, they don't have this. I grew up parang, I thought, basta nag-come to a point na I realized, kasi nga nag-learn ako na I can't be angry with my dad kasi dad ko yan. You respect your dad. Parang, nothing wrong about that. Pero I grew up realizing na I never really got angry with my dad, and then I carried it towards other people na, okay lang yan. Parang if they hurt you na, okay lang yan. To the point na, teka lang, wait lang. Parang naggalit na ako, may point na na-realize ko na, I'm actually angry at my dad. And then I was carrying that, which was causing parang the in-between fear. Kasi nga of that anger na I was always putting him on the pedestal hanggang naging 30s na ako ganun. I started resenting my dad. So, hindi na to okay. So, I've been carrying that anger, not realizing na napasa ko din pala siya sa ibang tao na, alam mo yan, pain people, ganun.
Yeah.
And then eventually, when I started facing na, uy, galit pala ako sa papa ko, I did all the exercises. And then I wasn't really shouting at him, no. I was shouting at a pillow, and then I allowed myself to fully express myself. And then I went into this parang training as well, na retreat-ish na pinuntahan ko, and I was held there in that space. And once I let go of the energy, I knew how to parang I kept put it out of my body. Parang nawala yung in-between na friction with my dad, which I accepted him wholeheartedly. Na parang, okay, anger lang pala yung pinanghawakan ko. It's not about my dad. It's the anger in between na nag-build up. Parang ganun.
Yeah. I like how you said accepted. Kasi static release, letting go, it's not really about changing the person who hurt you. It's about changing your perspective on the person who hurt you.
I love that.
Yeah. Clip that.
When your world changes inside, the outside changes as well.
Yes. So the way you treat the person who hurt you, mag-iiba. Kasi you learn to accept the ultimate, the highest frequency that you can ever experience is love.
And love is.
Yes. And love is acceptance.
Yes, like that's also, kasi like that's something that I really took away for the years of doing the work is that if you really want to tune in the frequency of love, diba? Parang love, when you love, it's all beautiful.
Yeah.
And love is actually acceptance to what is, because unless you accept what is, you keep resisting the flow of life, and the more it becomes painful.
Yes,
You
that's
feel
true.
feel the pain, you continuously slice yourself.
Yeah.
Parang ayoko to gawin.
Ayoko to siya, bakit man to siya ganito? Ganyan. So love is acceptance. Acceptance of what you're feeling. Acceptance of what you can and can't do.
You, hindi siya.
Yeah. And most importantly, acceptance of the things that you can't change. Once you went with that flow, loving in general will be a lot easier.
Tsaka, hindi na siya resistance. It's parang, okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what it is. Go. Letting go is easier too.
Letting go is easier than trying to control people.
So parang,
Parang wag kang ganyan, wag kang ganito.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, unless you accept what is, you'll continuously feel the pain.
Feel the pain, hurt yourself,
Hurt yourself.
resent more. Honestly, all the lower frequency
And then,
emotions.
Yeah, so letting go is acceptance. It's that.
Yeah.
Acceptance and allowing yourself to feel any emotions coming up and honoring the emotions that are coming up, realizing na hindi naman siya forever yung emotions na yun. It's just gonna pass. Those things you can do for you, and to find people who actually supports you on that journey, especially when mababa na masyado and you feel like, oh, wait lang. Parang kailangan ko i-outsource yung belief ko first.
Yeah.
Hindi pa ako makabelieve sa sarili ko. Even just one person who believes in you during that transition.
Yeah. Just one person.
Yeah. Anyway, ingay ng mga motor. Anything else you want to share?
No, actually, that's it. I think that's a good way to end it.
Yeah.
Kasi parang we tackled from knowing when something should be let go, acknowledging it, what you should do to let go, and why it's important to let go. So I think
in
that's
summary,
good.
like how can they really let go?
Ultimately, it's intention talaga. Putting your focus into letting go of something. Kasi you can't just say, I want to let go of this, and then you do the work, and then your attention is somewhere else.
Correct.
Intention.
Yeah, and be really firm about it.
Yeah.
Once you decide,
Yes.
this is it, wala nang atras abante, wala nang parang ganun lang, balik na. No, you have to decide to move forward, and then you just have to also accept what is.
Yes.
So that you can move forward.
And I guess there will be times din na akala mo nakalet go ka na, and then it's parang the feelings go back to you. Look, revisit those feelings.
Yeah.
It means hindi ka pa nakalet go. Do the process again until
Again and
eventually
again
again and again. If it matters enough for you, do it again and again until eventually you realize na, oh, I'm feeling a lot lighter because I'm not feeling anything towards this thing or this person anymore.
Yeah. Tsaka compassion to self. Like,
Compassion to self, be
you-
kind to yourself, yeah.
yes, parang if you fall again, do it again. Na parang wait lang, Lib, tara, Lib, go until it becomes a muscle. Kasi nga, di ba nasanay ka that person or situation is always there. Now that it's out of the box, you also have to put yourself out of the box by forcing yourself to actually doing it, di ba? Hanggang maging, okay na, let go, tapos balik na naman.
Yeah.
Let go, okay na. And then eventually it gets better and better and better. You just have to really cut the connection in between. In between for a while until maka-move on ka na. Because until it's there na, workmate kami, ganito kami. And dyan pa rin yung connection in between. So cut mo muna for a while, for now, para maka...
Yes, exactly. And grace is really important in this process. Give yourself grace. May times na madapa ka talaga. May times na you realize na, oh, you're already talking bad about this person or you're already nag-slander ka na. But be kind to yourself. Be honest with your emotions na you're feeling this and then just get back to the process. There will be times na you'll fail. But that's okay.
That's okay, yeah. Allow yourself to, wait lang, parang mali. Sige, ulit na naman. Alam mo yun. You're not gonna get it the first time. Kaya ako, personally, I also have so much compassion with myself. Parang, hulog ka na, sige lang, okay lang yan. Next time, tapos and then I catch yourself again. Hanggang ma-erase na siya sa system mo. Sige, ganun lang.
Yeah. And there's one more thing to keep in mind. Don't be a fool. Be a righteous man. A fool falls 7 times and doesn't rise. A righteous man falls 7 times and rises an 8th time. So always rise. When you fall, always choose to pick yourself up.
I love that. So that's the ending of this episode. We hope you enjoy our episode. Champ, where can they find you?
You can find me on @champbigas on TikTok and on Instagram. What's my Instagram? champ_Burgos09. That's my Instagram. And yeah, that's just it. Those are my 2 prominent socials.
Yeah, put on the link somewhere here.
Somewhere here.
So hopefully you enjoyed this episode, and yes, don't forget to add 5 stars or subscribe, guys. Bye.
Bye.